Okay, so we're still working with the same figure, and this time we are going to find the cross-section formed by the plane. So it's like a whole piece of paper going into our shape at x is equal to 5. That's right through the center of our cylinder. Okay, so when that happens, it's like this. You are pushing down this blue plane through the cylinder, and it is perpendicular to the base. So when your cross section is perpendicular to the base, it's going to take the shape of the picture before you started revolving it. And if you remember, this one's going right through the center, which is nice. But if you remember, before we started revolving our shape, it was a rectangle. So this is going to be a rectangle. So if you can kind of see as I move it, there it would be straight on. It's going to be a rectangle. Okay. Now I can, let's see. I can move it over here in the rectangle. As I get closer to the edge, the rectangle is smaller, then it gets bigger, bigger, bigger. It's through the center, that's the biggest it's going to get. And then it will be smaller, smaller as I get towards an edge. We are going right through the center. That's the easiest kind. So what you need to understand about this is when you take a plane that is perpendicular to your base, it's going to be the shape before you revolved it. So here is the shape before we revolved it, was right here, this rectangle. And because we're going through the center, which is the easiest way to do it, so that's always fantastic, we're going to have the same dimensions as we did before we revolved it. So it's actually I think this is a square when I count. 1, 2, 3, 4 for this dimension. 1, 2, 3, 4 for this. So this is actually a square. If we wanted to find the area, that's always going to be just side times side, or side squared. So that would be 16 units squared. So when you take a plane or like a piece of paper and you're putting it through your cylinder and it's perpendicular to the bases were circles, remember. When it's perpendicular, then it's going to be that shape before you revolved it. In this case, it was a square. If you're putting in a piece of paper that is parallel to your base, it's going to have the same shape as your base. And in this case, that would be a circle, and that was letter B. Okay, hope that makes sense.